in 24 CR 2291, the state of Texas versus Javante Turner. You're Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Correct. And you are here with your attorneys, Mr. Burke and Mr. Loper, and the state's attorney is present. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir. He waives it.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about September 26, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed capital felony offense of murder by terroristic, the firearm intentionally caused the death of an individual by shooting the defendant with a firearm, and you were in the course of committing or attempting to commit the offense of robbery. And this ends like all indictments against the peace and dignity of the state signed by the foreperson of the grand jury. Do you understand what you are charged with here, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the caption has a name that has nothing to do with within the body, but anyway, it's capital murder.
Yes, sir.
So do you understand what you're charged with here, sir?
Yes, sir.
So, what are we doing? Is it, we're going capital on
No,
this?
Judge, it's murder.
Okay, we're going to be pleading to the lesser included
That's right.
offense. Okay, so the lesser included offense of murder,
Yes, Judge.
correct? All right, sir, this is a first degree felony that you are going to be pleading guilty to of murder, and you are facing a term of life imprisonment or any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years in prison. And in addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand the punishment range for a first degree felony of murder?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached between the parties. You would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 50 years in prison. This sentence shall run concurrently with 21-36929, this case of aggravated robbery, where there's a motion to revoke probation. And I guess you will be, your probation will be revoked here in a little bit, and then you will be found guilty and sentenced to, we've deferred you. You will be revoked, found guilty, and then sentenced to a term of imprisonment that will run concurrently with this case. Is that your understanding of the plan in both cases?
Yes, sir.
If I follow these agreements that I intend to do, you have no right of appeal of either of these cases. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
So in this murder plea here of this capital murder case, as it is indicted in 24 CR 2291, the agreement is you will be pleading to the lesser offense of murder. As to that lesser included offense, how do you plead formally? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty of the elements of murder, intentionally, knowingly, causing the death of an individual by shooting them with a firearm? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will follow this agreement in this case and find that, Mr. Turner, you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It is freely and voluntarily made. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted in this hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this lesser included first degree felony of murder, based upon this capital murder indictment in this cause number 24 CR 2291. Finding you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 50 years. The judgment shall reflect an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, was used in the commission of the offense. Do you understand what has happened today in this case, sir?
Yes, sir.
And we will now go to the following case, 21-36939. In this case, there is a first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation Okay, this was filed on or about August 18th, 2025. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Lower your hand. In summary, this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation states that on September 13th, 2021, in this criminal district court of Jefferson County, Texas, you were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for the first degree felony of aggravated robbery. Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. We will go on allegation one. We had done that earlier and then that was abandoned. Allegation one states that you, Javante Turner, is alleged to have committed the offense of murder on or about September 26, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, which would be in violation of condition one of your deferred or unadjudicated probation order, which states do not commit an offense against the state or the United States. And that is the same allegation that you have just pleaded guilty to under this capital murder indictment, pleading guilty to the lesser included offense of murder. So do you understand what you're charged with here in allegation one?
Yes.
Is this allegation true and correct as it is alleged?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading true and correct to this voluntarily because it is true as it is alleged?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that a voluntarily and knowingly made plea of true to one or more violations of probation, that would be enough to grant a motion to revoke probation? Your probation here can be revoked. You can now be found guilty for this underlying offense of aggravated robbery and sentenced thereupon. Do you understand the ramifications of pleading true?
Yes, sir.
The agreement's been reached in this case as well. You would be your probation would be hereby revoked. You would now be found guilty and sentenced to 50 years in prison under this indictment, which originally charged you with aggravated robbery. Allegation 6 here of this first amended motion to revoke probation alleges that you committed the federal offense of fraud on or about September 3rd, 2024. 2 or 3 weeks prior to the commission of the murder that you pleaded guilty to. And this is a violation of condition one of your deferred adjudication order by devising a scheme to obtain property by means of false or fraudulent pretenses, and in doing so cause to be deposited any matter or thing whatever to be sent or delivered by any private or commercial interstate carrier, or took or received therefrom any such matter or thing, or knowingly caused to be delivered by mail or such carrier according to the direction thereon. Namely, you obtained a Pro Mag Industries drum magazine, 9mm, 50 rounds for a Taurus PT, as in Paul Tom 111, by means of providing the false name of Javante Perkins, and or providing the false address of 4214 Brisbane Street, and by fraudulently using the email address that is listed here in this allegation. All of this in violation of 18 United States Code Section 1341, which I think is mail fraud.
That's right, Judge.
Anyway, do you understand what you were charged with in this allegation number 6 of the first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is this allegation true and correct as it is alleged?
Yes.
And are you pleading true and correct to this voluntarily and because it is true?
Yes, sir.
In this case, an agreement has been reached, as in the earlier case, that your probation would be revoked. You would now be found guilty offense here of aggravated robbery that you were placed on probation for, and sentenced to 50 years in prison to run concurrently with the previous case. Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to follow this agreement. Anything else to add?
Nothing from the
By
state.
the
Judge.
parties?
Nothing from the state.
If not, I'm going to find that you have pleaded true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently to allegations 1 and 6 of this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation in cause number F, as in Frank 21-36929. Thus, your deferred or unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked for these 2 violations earlier in this case. You pleaded guilty voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted in your original plea hearing in this case to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, though we deferred any finding of guilt so long as you were placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation and followed the conditions and terms of that probation. Now that your probation has hereby been revoked, I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this underlying offense of aggravated robbery, a first-degree felony. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 50 years. These 2 sentences in these cases shall run concurrently. Do you understand fully what has happened today, sir?
Yes, sir.
Also, in each of these cases, the judgment shall reflect an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, was used in the commission of each of these offenses. Anything else to add?
No.
State,
No,
defense, all right. We are in recess.